So today what we're going to be doing is another interesting video. This video is something that quite a few students have actually asked me about and quite a few subscribers to the channel. It's specifically talking about my Metatrader setup, so exactly what I look at on a daily basis when I'm trading. Now, interestingly enough, the setup is very simple and it never changes. I've been trading with the exact same setup for over, give or take, 2 years to 2.5 years without changing a single thing, and I've found an incredible performance upgrade in my technical analysis using just these 4 simple indicators. So what we're going to be doing in this video is running you through those 4 simple indicators as well as the setup of the platform, and basically it's going to give you the simple steps of exactly why I use that and how I use it, and also just explaining exactly why I've been able to develop that template. But basically, the big reason behind why I want to give this to you as an education is that a lot of people come forth to me talking about what trading platforms they should be using, what indicators, what templates, etc., etc. I've seen a lot of students trade with such complex templates that I can't even understand it. I can't even understand what indicators they're looking at, and they tend to receive an extreme overflow of information. Now, from what we have found is that to a lot of professional traders I know, from people working for private firms all the way up to people that I know working for Goldman Sachs, they all trade simple. Some of them trade just with an EMA. I even know some traders that trade with no indicators. So that's on the professional side, which I know of. On the educational side, training students in 26 countries around the world has allowed us to see incredible diversity. Everyone has a different idea of what they want to see. So when we're going forth with providing this template to our own students, as well as providing it to all of you, we're doing it with a huge amount of knowledge behind why we're giving you just 4 indicators and a very simple setup. So it's going to at least explain to you the most important aspects that you should be considering, the setup, and then I'll talk a little bit right after. And also, for any of you who might think I change completely after this video, it's because when I filmed the introduction, unfortunately, the memory card decided to, take a break. So we had to refilm the introduction. Now we're refilming it now. You're going to see me in a different shirt just now, but it doesn't matter. So enjoy this video and let's get going on the charts. Okay, so on the chart, what we've got is just my simple Metatrader platform open. So this is the Metatrader 4 platform, as I'm sure a lot of you know of. And effectively, if you go into your Market Watch window, the first thing that you're going to be greeted with is the pairs that you're able to trade. So what I'm going to do is take a simple pair and I'm going to say open new chart window. And what you're going to see is it opens up a chart window for me right here. So what I'm going to do is walk you through the simple reasons behind why I've chosen this setup and why this setup works best for me. I prefer a complete immaculate setup in the sense that I don't want to have too many lines or too many things on the chart that might confuse me and might lead me into the wrong assumptions of where the price is going. And that's what you have when people land up with, let's say, 6 to 7, sometimes even up to 15 different indicators that they're trying to use to predict price movement. You can become diluted with improper information. So what I'm going to start off with is just the simple colors. So the colors are pretty simple for me. What I basically do is I start off with having a white background with a black foreground. I just tend to find that after very long hours of watching charts for a few years now, I find white backgrounds work best. And this is actually coming from someone who used to use black backgrounds for the first 2 years of trading. So I found the white background is a lot easier on my eyes. For the grid, I basically say none, and I just really don't need it. And we'll basically use the period separators instead, which I'll show you just now. And then for bar up, I always do black, and for bar down, I always do black as well. And I'm going to explain that to you just now. For the bull candle, I make it just a nice green. Lime green is usually the one I choose. It's in the middle of the color selector on that row. For bear candle, I choose the simple red color. For line graph, we're not going to be using that. For volumes, you don't need to worry. For For the ask line, I like to try and make it blue, just because if I've got red candles in the chart, I need to see where the ask line is very clearly. And then for stop levels, I leave red because we all know those stop levels. For this, I'm basically going to say chart doesn't need to be on the foreground, so it doesn't need to be in front of any of my lines. Offline chart, you don't need to worry about that. Chart shift, keep it selected. Auto scroll, keep it selected. You can take it off from the top indicators here. And then obviously it's going to go to a candlestick chart, and you're going to say show ask line, show period separators, and don't show grid. And then you don't need to show volume. If you need a volume indicator, you can just put one in. And object descriptions, you don't need that either. That will just annoy you. So once you click yes, you're basically going to see that you'll be greeted with a chart that looks just like this. So basically what you've got here is you have got your blue ask line, you've got the period separators that you can see, these long lines. So that basically is showing you the periods between either, let's say, for example, on a weekly chart, you're going to see the periods between each year, and on a daily chart, you're going to see the periods between each month. So to get that on or off your chart, all you just have to basically do is press Control Y. So your Control button and Y at the same time, and that helps you turn them on or turn them off. So if you want to measure the difference between where the candles have opened each day, you can see that as well. And that makes life a lot easier if you want to go onto the hourly chart and see where the hourly candle opened. So basically, I'm just going to turn them off for now and leave them off. But then you've got your blue ask line, which, like I said, looks really nice behind the red. At least you can see it really well, so you don't need to worry about that. And then most importantly is the black of the candlestick. So effectively what people don't realize is when the wick of the candlestick is the same color of the candle, sometimes you might not see the very edges. So let's say, for example, in this green candle, if this very, very top wick was green, we might not see it to the naked eye, unless we've got very, very expensive computer monitors that can see that information, and we're concentrating very closely. Now, basically, if you're doing something like you're on a laptop, or let's say you're outside and there's sun glare and stuff, you need to try and see this as easy as possible. And that's why we use the black, because what the black does is it surrounds the candlestick with a black outline, and the black wicks are easily identifiable against the difference in the red and green colors. That's specifically why we do it. So for candlestick analysis, it makes life a lot easier. Now, for the next one is that we add in our indicators. Now, the simplest to start off with is moving averages. So basically, for myself, I like to use two different moving averages. I'm going to use a 15-day EMA. It's going to be an exponential moving average. It's going to apply to the close of the candle, and I usually make it in a dark orange. And you're going to see I also put it on the second thickness level, just so I can see it when I'm looking at multiple charts of candles at the same time. For levels, you need to leave that off. For visualization, don't do anything, just keep it on all time frames. You click yes, and you're going to see on the chart you've now got an EMA. Now that EMA follows it by 15 periods of a average calculation. So the average price of the last 15 periods amounts to exactly where that line is going to go. So basically what we're going to do is insert a second one, and you're going to do the same moving average, exponential, and you're going to make this a 30-day moving average. For myself, I prefer using a 30-day moving average, and I enjoy using it when I need to try and see where larger scales of momentum lie. For yourself, it's obviously up to you to decide if you want them. Like I said, this is just me showing you my setup that you can also use. Then going into the next indicators, we're going to be inserting a simple stochastic oscillator. So you're going to go down to oscillators inside your indicators windows, click stochastic oscillator, and you're going to see mine's already set up right now because I've already set it up on this platform. But you're basically going to see the K period will equal 14, slowing 3, the D period 3, the price field low to high, not open to close, because if it's open to close, it will actually measure the close of the price and not the wicks as well, which is quite important. And then moving average, I just say simple as well. fixed minimum, fixed maximum of 100. Colors, I like to make it black, the main, and the signal red. For levels, I make the style blue and a solid blue line. And then for the levels, I put in 80, 20, 90, and 10. Now, if you only have 80 and 20 when you're watching this video, just click add. You'll add a number in, and then you'll be able to click on that number and then just type in 90 and 10. When you click OK, you're going to see it pops up on the bottom of the screen all nicely and looks great. So that is first indicator done, the stochastic. Now the stochastic, obviously, if you have a look at my MFI strategy video, which I'll pop up for you now, that is just showing you exactly how I use one of my most used and most successful strategies that I actually give out in a video completely free of charge. So make sure to go watch that. You're going to learn more about the stochastic, but I specifically use it for that strategy and also to identify where the market is and the levels of being overbought and oversold. Now I go back and I'm also going to insert another indicator, and it's going to be a volume indicator, and it's called the money flow index. So what you want to do is also add in a money flow index. The period is going to be 14. The style you can keep black. For levels, once again, I make blue, and once again 80, 20, 90, 10. So if you don't have those levels, add them in. Visualization, keep it on all time frames. As that comes in, you're going to see that there's going to be two very similar looking indicators. Now these indicators both calculate completely different variables, and they're not going to produce the exact same pricing. Now once again, go watch that MFI strategy video. It will explain why I use both of them. But these are the two indicators that I like to make use of. Now another one that I do make use of from time to time is a MACD. Now a MACD I make use of just to identify divergence when I possibly might spot it. Now for the MACD, I have it on the same. The fast EMA is 14, the slow EMA is 26, the MACD SMA is 9. I apply it to the close with the colors being the main, silver, the signal red, and the levels are going to come in at being black. And what you're going to see here is the chart shows up right at the bottom. So what this just allows me to identify is points of divergence. I'm not going to explain points of divergence right now. It's a very simple strategy. You can find it online. But that at least allows me to identify points of divergence should that fall part of my technical analysis strategy. But all in all, it's not really up. I prefer to sort of keep that only when I need it. So basically this is the simple setup, and this is exactly how it looks, folks. This is effectively two indicator windows, two moving averages, and some simple price formations. Now, in all fairness, there are many other people out there with different templates that I do know work, and some of these templates are very intricate and very interesting to use. But what I need to say to you completely upfront is you need to become good at using simplicity when it comes to trading. Ultimately, the only thing that governs our fate is the price, and it's up to where the price wants to move. It's not up to us. So basically what you've just seen there is my setup. Now, like I said in the beginning, everyone has a different setup, and in all fairness, I've seen certain setups, very interesting, very intricate, and some of them are very successful in use. Now, the reason why I make use of complete simplicity is there's really one variable that governs our fate when we're trading, and that's the price. Now, a lot of time people like to try and build indicators and models and X and Y and Z to try and find an edge on the market, when at the end of the day, the only edge on the market is the processing of large-scale information. When you're able to understand everything from the technicals to the fundamentals, the macroeconomics, everything around that, you're no longer relying on what your trading software looks like. You're relying more on what you know. Now, the look of a trading platform has been something that all brokerages like to take advantage of. The more interesting it looks, the more active it looks, the more simpler it looks, the more friendly and inviting it looks, the more clients they could possibly absorb. And it's a massive marketing scheme. Certain companies around the world sell this software. and deliver millions in revenue to their companies just by leasing out the software or these templates. Now, Metatrader is a free-to-use software as long as you sign up with a brokerage. I know you can even download Metatrader by itself and just register your own demo account, a paper trading account. But the templates are free, they're easy to use, they're easy to understand, and there is reams of reading information up on the Metatrader website that can help you learn more about how to use this platform. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's about keeping it as simple as possible. When I'm able to use a layout like this, I can understand the simplicity of the price and I can see where the price is going to move. I don't want the distraction of too many indicators commanding information to me that, in a way, I might not understand unless I have an explanation for why the price has moved to that level. Now, the why of the price stands outside of the platform, and I'm not trying to, ruin this as a specific video, but what I want to say is make sure to try this template out. If you're looking for a template, free to use, you can use it for whatever you want. Take some time to also research new ideas. See if you want to integrate that MACD as well, or you want to integrate a volume indicator, but do it wisely. Don't try and get distracted with too many different indicators or too many different templates. Try and keep it down to the simplest form that you possibly can. A template where you can use it to understand the price. So once again, everyone, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope it was helpful to you. Also, sorry that I have been away for a while. It has been terrifyingly busy investments-wise. It has been a great last month, but it's just been really busy. But what I do want to say in closing is we are going to keep up the tempo. We're going to keep things going and keep on sending out educational videos that can help you out. So if you've got any ideas of things you want, make sure to put it down in the comments and we'll see if we can actually get a video filmed for it. To anyone who is interested in finding out a bit more about what I do and what we do at MS Equities Trading, just follow the link below. It's www.msequitiestrading.com. You can find out everything about our company, our education, investments, and how we train students in 26 countries around the world with specialized online training services and private coaching. Once again, everyone, thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe. It keeps you up to date with all of the content coming out. But until next time, cheers for now.